What's cracking, guys? Omar Isaf here, back with another video. This video is filmed in a different location, my sex dungeon, which brings me to the subject of today's video. Why are powerlifters always injured? Let's talk a little bit about injuries. Before I go on, I have to give a huge shout out to Greg Knuckles and Eric Helms, as well as Mike Zordos, for MASS monthly applications in strength sports. It's a monthly research review that they have. The most recent one takes a look at the research, a particular study focusing on Swedish powerlifters and their rate of injury, because anecdotal reports aren't enough. You might hear from the bro that goes to the gym, oh, you know, my elbow hurts, I think it's because of this. But if we take a look at a lot of evidence, what can we learn when it comes to injuries? And what's interesting is that most people are injured. And I'm not talking about the average lifter. I'm talking about those that are serious about lifting, right? So strength athletes. This study took a look at least 100 people. I think it was in the low 100s, even split between males and females. And they were sub-elite lifters, which means that their Wilks, I think for the males, was about 363 on average. They're strong. So we're taking a look at strong lifters. And they sent a survey to those that participated, and they asked the question, are you currently injured? And from those asked, I think it was 70%. So the majority were currently injured, facing some sort of issue that prevented them from training at 100%. And what's more, 87% of those that were surveyed reported some sort of injury in the past year. So these numbers are quite significant. When I put the title as why are all powerlifters, or why are powerlifters always injured, I mean that, because if we take a look at the numbers, it's true. 70% of those that were asked at a random point in their training, they were currently injured, facing some sort of injury. And we should define injury quickly here. Injury doesn't mean that they can't do the lift. So I'm not talking about someone that, you know, ruptured an Achilles tendon or that herniated a disc. An injury can be defined as anything that impairs their overall training. So a nagging shoulder injury, something to do with their hips, something to do with their back, something to do with their neck. Anything that impairs their training counts as an injury. And so what's interesting, the vast majority of powerlifters face some sort of obstacle when it comes to their training. And so I think this normalizes it. To answer the question, why are powerlifters always injured? I think it's rather simple. Anytime you're trying to really push your body to the limit, right? As much as you possibly can. Anytime you work on a sex farm, it can happen to you. And so I think for a lot of people, they get injured and immediately their journey ends, right? It's like, oh man, you know what, I got this like knee injury or the shoulder thing, or I pulled my back, it's all over for me, might as well take up yoga. And that's not the case. I think finding out that 70% of those sub-elite lifters were facing some sort of obstacle, if anything, should be encouraging, because what's more, and this is the power in this study, out of those that were currently injured, I think it was well over 80% were still training, which means they're finding workarounds. So maybe you don't do low bar squats, maybe you do front squats instead, or maybe you use the leg press. And what's more, not only were the majority still training, the number one thing that they adjusted would be frequency. So instead of training maybe their squat 3 times per week, they would lower the frequency to 2 times per week. But what they were doing, they're finding solutions to their problems. And so I think looking at an injury as this immediate thing where I have to change everything and it's all over, and these negative expectations that cause us to spiral downwards. And this is talking from someone that, for those who remember, in 2015, I did have that acute back SI injury that occurred when I was lifting heavy on a particular day. Really impaired my training, and it took a long time to gain that sense of confidence back in my lifting. But if we take a look at all these individuals, they find workarounds. And so that should be positive, that should be reassuring to those out there that are facing whatever, elbow issues, neck injuries, back issues, hip injuries, knee, doesn't really matter, but you can find workarounds. So to answer that question, why are powerlifters always injured? I think anyone that tries to push themselves, and actually they have done studies when it comes to different sports, per 1,000 hours spent doing that sport, the injury rate and powerlifting is pretty similar to a lot of other sports. And so that shouldn't come at a surprise for those that are watching this video. If you want to become good at anything and you do it a lot, you do the exact same movements over and over again and you're trying to lift the most amount of weight, yeah, something's probably going to have to happen. Something's got to give. So keep that in mind. Next time something happens to you, be proactive. See someone if you think it's a major issue, but understand it's part of the process. Don't let it prevent you from reaching your goals. Anyways, that is all the time we have in this video today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for joining me in my sex dungeon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the damn video. And lastly, what's relevant to this, my boy Bruce Crawfish, aka Bryce Krawcheck of Calgary Barbell, recently tweaked his back again. He just competed at IPF Worlds, placed 4th. This is something he's been dealing with now for about 3 years. But to segue to something cool, talking about powerlifting or people getting into strength sports, I think we should be encouraging him and Big D, Dylan, his camera dude. They want to make a documentary. They're trying to get a government grant, and what you can do to help out, this is 100% free. You don't have to do anything. I think a lot of us want to see strength sports adopted by the general population. You might watch this channel and other channels. You might think to yourself, oh wow, it's really catching on, but it's not to the level that I think it should be. Anyways, what I was going to say, there is going to be a powerlifting documentary they hope to make. They're trying to get a government grant. All you need to do is vote in the link that I'm going to link in the comment section. So just check the description or in the comments, vote. You can vote once per day, and that will help them get that grant. I support what they're doing. I think right now, it's my personal opinion, but Calgary Barbell has the best pure powerlifting channel out there. So I believe in supporting good content. He's posted, free content for years on end, and they've really taken the editing and the overall cinematography of YouTube fitness to the next level. So it takes a little bit of your time. Support that. I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, like the damn video, and I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.
Hi, my name is Bryce Krawcheck, and I'm a Canadian powerlifter. Together with my good friend and business partner Dylan Yukovets, we create content for our YouTube channel, Calgary Barbell. We focus on trying to use excellent videography, solid informational content, and sometimes even a bit of humor to help other lifters. As a powerlifter, I've set 2 world records, I've won 3 medals at world championships, and I've been our Canadian national champion 4 times. Before I found powerlifting, I had a hard time feeling direction or control in my life. Powerlifting helped me see my actions directly reflected in the results, and it gave me a passion to pursue. I wasn't headed down any dark paths or anything, but powerlifting did help give me a sense of purpose. Dylan and I want to make a documentary about how powerlifting changed my life, to try to get people interested and to try to inspire them to enrich their own lives by getting involved in this sport. If you want to help us create this, click the link below in the description and vote for us once per day.